Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a video on a 2013 Toyota Prius. Now this car's got the check engine light on, DTC P148F, which is engine coolant pump over revolution. And what I just did is I'm going to show you. I plugged in my diagnostic scan tool. I went into engine and ECT. I retrieved the codes and had that same exact code. Now I believe engine coolant pump or coolant issues related to that, there's many different codes, but make sure you have a code that's related to your coolant pump. Again, on this one is P148F. And what I want to end up doing on this one is this area right here. This is your engine. That's your hybrid side. We're talking about the electric engine coolant pump. This car also has a coolant pump for a hybrid system, but we're talking about this one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that pump out of the car. I'm going to bring it out to the bench and I'm going to inspect it. Why am I going to do that? Because we have a code that is engine coolant pump over revolution. What that means is that the coolant pump can either be spinning too fast or spinning too slow, or it's binding. Whatever the case is, I am actually pulling this pump out, but I'm not going to film it. I've actually done a video like this. So if you're interested in watching that video, click on the card right above here on the screen, and that'll take you to that video where I actually remove and installed a pump on this same exact model. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video here. Then I'm going to pull out my pump, I'm going to put it on the bench, and then we'll pick right back up here. All right, so now that the pump is out, pretty straightforward, 5 bolts holding that in, and just unplug that connector right here. One quick tip though, if your surface area looks like this, make sure you take a Scotch-Brite pad or a light sandpaper and just get rid of that stuff. It'll make a better seal on the pump. All right, so let's come over here to the bench. So when we look at the pump, visually, we don't see anything damaged, okay? The propeller or impeller is actually spinning real good. I don't feel anything binding or anything, but there could be something causing an obstruction inside. This is the electronics of the pump. And you can see the Toyota pumps make a real good pump, because you're going to see a lot of these pumps out there that are aftermarket, and some of them would even be rebuilt because they'll have this scratched off. Some of them will be aftermarket, but they won't even have these ridges over here. And this is actually good because this causes heat to dissipate a lot faster, because this thing gets real hot inside. It's got electronics inside, and those electronics actually generate a lot of heat. And this is actually designed that way so it could dissipate the heat a lot faster, more efficiently. So if I were to replace this pump, I would not go with an aftermarket pump. I will only go with a Toyota pump, because honestly, this is the best pump that there is. Obviously, there's a flaw that caused this pump to go bad or cause that code. I don't think there's anything wrong with the electronics, but we're going to take it apart right now and check that out. All right, so let's squeeze these and see if we could separate this. Okay, that's one. Squeeze another one. Okay, that's 2. Let's go for the third one. And that's 3. That was fairly simple. All right. Make sure this gasket sits in place whenever you're putting it back together. But this right here, it looks like that's thermal paste. And the reason why I know that is because this is a computer chip over here. That right there usually gets real hot, and thermal paste is the only way to cool it down. Now, looking at this thing and inspecting it real good, I had my fair share of time at dealerships when it was real slow, and I would take things apart just like this. I never actually took one of these pumps apart before, to be honest, because when I did replace them back in the day, they were still under warranty. I had to return them back to parts, but I don't see anything wrong with this one. There's nothing burnt. I think the circuit is real good. Yeah, that circuit board does not show any. I don't see any defects on this thing, even in the internals, right underneath it. I don't see anything wrong with it. So the main thing that I was also looking for is to make sure that coolant didn't get to this side of the pump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this gasket, I'm going to place it right where it should go, because the groove is on this side, and I'm just going to place this thing right back where it was. 1, squeeze that second one, 2, make sure you hear that click. This one didn't click yet. This one didn't want to clip. I'm just going to squeeze it. There we go. There we go. Perfect. You know what? Since I had this out, let me just go ahead and do that on all three sides. There we go. All right, so we don't have to worry about the electronics side of it. Now, this thing right here, let's check this out. Let's see how this thing comes off. I can see there's a rubber O-ring here. And that's the O-ring right here. Let's put that over here, make sure we don't lose it. And, ooh, this thing almost comes off by hand. Oh, look at that. Got a little washer here. And this is goes in one way. Ah, look at that right here. I hope you can see that. This thing is magnetic too, because yeah, there's definitely a split here. And this has like a plastic coating around there. If I had to guess why this failed, is because once it splits, coolant gets in there, and since it's magnetic, that's metal inside, and water and metal eventually over time causes corrosion. So that corrosion can cause layers of the metal to expand, eventually cracking this plastic coating on it. And since this goes in there and this thing spins, then my best guess, if I really had to, because I'm not the one who engineered it, but if I had to make a determination of why this failed, is because this thing is not truly round anymore. And once it expands here, then it can't really spin in there real well. So it's binding. And once it's binding, it's not spinning at the desired speed. So this is actually good because I've actually wanted to make this video because, as you all know, in this channel, we try to keep more of that money that you make. So instead of replacing the whole water pump, which could be somewhere around $250 and $300, I actually purchased this part. This is the old one. And look, they stick together, magnetic. The old one, the new one. The new one's also magnetic. The quality is just about the same as the old one. I mean, I don't see anything that's different here. I don't see much of a difference here. I don't see a difference at all. Now, this is pretty dry right here, the shaft. And I actually got, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I do see some debris in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry that up real good before I put the new impeller on there. I'm going to take a paper shop rag and dry that up real good. Oh, I like the way that looks. That's much better. Now, so since this is new and this shaft is pretty dry, I don't want to just put this in there. I actually want to help it with a little bit of lubricant. So I'm going to use this grease. This is just Toyota rubber grease. And I'm just going to apply a little bit, not too much. Just like this much right here. You just want to help it get going in there. Again, this is the new part. I'll have this list in the description box below. Oof, that hurt my pinky a little bit. It's magnetic, so it actually just drops in there. Oh, it's actually hard now to get it out. There we go. So I guess the proper way to place it in is with two hands. Yeah. Okay. So let's not forget our little washer here, which only goes in one way. And then we have that O-ring that we took off earlier. And that is it. So let's recap here. We know that our electronics are good because I didn't see anything visually wrong with it. We found out that this white coating is cracked, therefore it was binding. Now, the only other thing I have to change is this gasket. I picked up a brand new gasket from Toyota. Here's the part number. I'll also have it in the description box below. Make sure you replace this. I know this is all about saving, but you don't want to take chances and reuse this thing. So the gasket was like $7 and this was $20. So all in total, I'm $27. I'm going to do new coolant as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean that surface area I just mentioned, replace the gasket, install the pump, fill up the coolant, drive it for a few miles, and I'll report back. All right, so here's a shot after I clean that surface area real well. And that's the way you want it before you install the pump back in there. Brand new gasket, make sure you install this right here first. And then just follow along. Make sure it's placed right in that groove. And you should be good to go. All right, it is now the next day. And I finished wrapping up the whole job last night. Took it around the block and came back and parked the car inside the garage. That was all. This morning I checked underneath the car, no leaks. But we took a trip around town, total about 17 miles, came back, just got done doing a health check with the scan tool. Everything came back clear. No codes present, nothing in history, nothing pending. So I would say we're good. Um, I honestly believe that that was what's causing the issue. The fact that that impeller was maybe binding a little bit, it was causing that code to come on, and therefore that's going to trigger your check engine light on. If you're a typical DIYer and you like to take this approach, I will highly encourage you to do it. It'll keep a lot more money in your bank. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and unplug my scan tool. And if you're interested in watching an in-depth tutorial of this scan tool right here, which is specifically tailored for Toyota and Lexus vehicles, you can watch that video in this card that I put right here. Definitely will recommend it. Now, just remember, if you do end up retrieving your DTC, and if your code is related to the cooling system, don't automatically think that that's the engine electric water pump that's causing the code. You have to properly diagnose it. Remember, you have a cooling system for the inverter, but you also have a cooling system for the engine. So proper diagnosis does need to take place. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was guideful for you. If you're stuck somewhere where you don't know what to do, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Any doubts any one of the viewers could answer, but I most definitely do answer most of the comments. So with that being said, go ahead and click that like button, consider subscribing, and until next time, thanks a lot for educating yourself, making progress, and best to you.